have pretty much have an idea of how to create a function, right? So we are going to see two functions here. Okay. So apart from creating these functions, there are different ways of creating few more functions which we are going to see. All right. So the first one in that is a function. Okay. The function just a moment. Function with optional parameters. Function with optional parameters. So let me write it down here. Function with optional parameters. Okay. What are these optional parameters? So the name itself you can understand. Okay. It is a different type of a function. Right. So it is the optional function where you can create an optional variable. Right. Now, how do you create this optional variable? To do that, you have to specify. So to specify, so I can say in order to create the whole parameter, to specify it using square bracket. Right? While using square bracket, we're going to do that. Using square bracket. Now, example, let's create one. Let's say I'm going to create void read, and inside that I'm going to give a string variable. String as name. Okay. And string this is a normal basic function where I'm just going to, it's a function with arguments. Okay. Function with arguments. Now I'm going to pass one optional parameter. How are we going to pass one optional parameter? We will give a comma and a square bracket and say I'm going to declare it, say age. Now, if you know the data type, you can specify the data type, but I would suggest you to give this as var itself. Okay, var itself. Now here I'm going to do that.
କ'ଣ ବର୍ଷା ହେଉଛି ରେ?
Now let's run this. Okay, let's call this function. So I'm going to call this function greet, and then you have to keep in mind there are two parameters. One is name, another one is age. I'm only going to pass only one argument. Okay, but there are two parameters, but I'm going to pass only one argument here. So let's say I'm going to pass an argument, say, yeah, right, so some name. So we'll run this. What will happen? It will call the function. It will call that function. But what is happening to the age? It is by default taking the null value. Okay. So when you don't pass an argument for this particular variable, it is automatically taken as a null value. Okay. Now if I want to pass, I can run. I can write, yeah, status t. So you will have, you call the same function. Now the value which is given to the second value will be taken for the second parameter. So this is a function with optional parameters. Okay, optional parameters. Now you also have, now if you want to give more than one, so if I want to give more than one optional parameters, then I will go for something called as function with optional named parameters. Okay. This is used when if you want to specify. So to specify it, so in order to create specify it with curly braces. That's all. Okay, curly braces or brackets. This. Okay. Now let's create the same function. So void and let it as details. Okay. And say a velocity. Now it might be a string name, and instead of square bracket, I'm going to be square bracket that age and where I can also write tool as well. So right now I'm going to be where is true. Okay. So in the basis, we need the same thing. Use the lookup followed by student. So I'm using a done this. So let's say I'm going to give a value here. Going to call it, call a value for this. So let me call a value. Let's say I'm giving a value here as Vikram, and then I am simply going to specify which function. So there are two arguments here. Okay. So if I give three arguments, automatically it's going to call three values. So let's say I'm going to give here as 21 and then 2 as the value. Now here it is showing an error. Sorry, not read, I have to give it as details. Yeah. So here it is taking the third value. So I am getting an error here. So why? Because I need to specify for which value I am going to specify. So I have to go and specify here this value is for age and this value is for the head. Okay. Now when I run this, it should most probably get a now see, I am a student. Now same thing, we copy and I will again call this. This time I am not going to give a value for the first one. The second, give value, and I am going to write it as false. And we'll change the name, someone and somebody else, do it as name of style. Run it again. Now see, now that value I gave here. Okay, this went for only this particular value, and here it did not go for this, and this is already there. right? So this is compulsory you have to give. And when it came to age, it just printed as null. And since I've given as false here, it printed this particular state. I'm not a student. Okay, understood till here? Are you all able to understand? Do anybody have doubts regarding this? Yes or no? Any doubt? If you have any doubt, you can ask. You can raise your hand. Yes,
No,
sir.
sir.
No, okay. So we will go for the next one, which is basically optional parameter with a default value. So if you want to give a default value, function with the optional parameter, the default value. Optional parameter. Then
Alright.
value.
Hey.
Now a function with the default value, or you call that. Now let's
Yeah.
take this function itself
Right on.
and we put it here. We'll just name something else to this function. Okay,
Huh?
let's name this as
Okay, Vidla.
Interesting. Okay. Now here, what I'm going to do is, instead of square bracket, I'm going to give a curly bracket.
Keep it like that.
Okay. Then use an equal to symbol and assign a value.
Hey. Keep it like
20. Okay. I will give it already 20 is there, so we'll give something else, say 19. Now what happened is, if you don't give a value, if you will give, you have to compulsorily give a value for this particular. You have to pass an argument for this particular variable. But for this, you don't need to provide. What will happen? It will automatically use this value which has been assigned to this variable as a value for the print. Okay. So let's call that function. We'll go and give student bracket open. We give some name here. Right. Name here. Followed by. So now we are not doing so. So first we will not give. Automatically what happened? It will take this value. Let's run this. Yeah, so you got it. So it is written 19 here plus the value been already given. Now here and all we have not given the value. These are optional. Okay. And here you are giving a value. Now if I am going to call the same function, we give something, some other name here, followed by value of say 1. And let's say it's going to call this or not. There's a problem. There's too many optional one, right? So same sound design. Let's say if I'm going to change it to the problem. Problem, right? So that means you cannot give that. Okay. So just now. We have to specify. You have to specify this for the image. How it is work. How the image. Let's say we're working on run this. Very good. Let's run it again. Yeah, now it is. Alright? So that's how you will call your. So these are the 3 types of functions. Okay? Apart from the way you have created, these are the 3 types of. Well, I hope you have copied.
Yes.
Hey, Rama.
Yeah. So let's move on to the next part. And the 2 functions, and we'll complete this function per topic. Okay.
काय लो बोलतो बोल बोल बोल
क्ले लगा हमने बनता हमने दे
हां
सेरस क्ले खेल जा हमने मत ना गोले घर जिंगो में करो बोला
बड़े काय बड़े
Now the next thing which we are going to see
कोण खोले
is also function. So the next thing which we are going to see is recursive. Okay. Now what is a recursive? A recursive function is nothing but a function.
Calling itself.
Yes, very good. So it's the function which calls itself. Calls itself again and again till the condition gets satisfied, right?
Yes, sir.
That's your recursive function. Now this process is called as recursion. Okay? Recursion. So in a recursion, you will have two options. Recursions you will have recursions you will have what? Two cases. So there are two cases. That is, you will have a base case and recursive. Right? Base case is where your conditions will be satisfied, and recursive case is where the function gets executed repeatedly. Okay, so that's your recursion. Now let's create a function recursion. So we will create a Fibonacci series. So let me give a different type of scheme. Here is the function going to pass an argument called num. Okay. If you want, I can use if condition. I'm using a conditional operator. Okay. So return num less than 2. This condition is true. Your num value. Or what I can do is I can go and give fib of num is 1 plus the log num. Okay. So this is my base case, and the condition gets satisfied, and this is my recursive case, that the function gets repeated. So see, you can see here, this is a function name. You are calling the same function again and again. Okay. So this is a recursive function. How do you call this function? Go here, the void main, create it. And let's talk about it. Right. Now I am going to give a value, say 6. Then since I am using return type, so print right Fibonacci value at 6th position, 6th index value. You can say equal to the dollar symbol. Then you call them. Okay. Here and sorry. Okay. So run this. Everything should be right. So 8 is the value. 8 is the value in the 6th position. So you give the position, you give the value. Right? So that's your recursive function. Next, what we're going to see is a lambda function. A lambda function, or you can also, some of them also say it as arrow function. So it is an anonymous function. Okay, so how do I create it? Now let's say I want to create a data type or a return type, then you will say square, the name of the function. I'm also going to pass along a value called num, then give an arrow function. Okay, this is an arrow function. And you don't need to give a return type because I've already given this int as a return type. So you just give now type. Okay. Now how do you call this function? Very simple. Just go. So it's a return type. We'll print. This will be applied in area of square, right? Yeah. Area of square equals symbol. Or you can use a curly bracket and call the function. So the function is square. Check it out and pass now. Say fine. Directly giving value. And assign it. And you will get an output. And you take the back. Alright. Now all of you have understood till here? Okay. Yeah. So that's how you will create a lambda function. You can create multiple functions if you want. Like for example, I can give one more for this. Say void, use a void, and say I'm going to give a function name for the greet. I'm not passing any argument. I can give print and print the statement. Hello and welcome. Lambda. Okay. So this is my return type and this is my method type. Okay. So for you to understand, so this I'll just need to go and call. Just call print. Automatically function get executed. That's all. Okay. Now if you have understood till here, anybody having doubts? No doubts? Hope you all understood. So we have pretty much completed functions. Okay. Functions, you are able to understand how to create a function, okay, in Dart programming, and what are the different types of functions, and that we have also seen how to give optional parameters, okay, how to give multiple optional name parameters. You have to name it to access that particular parameter if needed, and you also have a default type, how to give a default type. You know, see. Okay, and then you have seen this recursive function and lambda. So this is pretty much sum up the how you're going to create a user-defined functions. Okay, user-defined. Now let's go to the basics. Let me teach you. Just a moment. Let me share it because I'm going to copy this. So just give me 2 minutes, I'll come back. Just need to paste it in here. So let me use. So the next thing which we're going to see strings, okay? String functions.
1 to 10 lagi
String. Now what is a string? You all know. It's a collection. Collection or sequence of characters. Okay. In Dart, it is also a sequence of UTF-16.
Sir, also spelling is bhul.
Right down here. Spelling is
Sir, also spelling is mistake.
I didn't get you, sir.
That is also a sequence, sir. Also spelling is
1
mistake.
to 10 যা লিখছি
Also spelling by mistake. Okay, thank you.
এতে হবে
Thank you. All right.
Eh,
So it is a
let's go.
sequence of UTF codes.
Okay.
Okay,
ଆଉ
code units. They are
ମତେ
called
ଏତେ
as.
ଆଇଛି
Okay.
10 ଆଉ 1 to 10 ଗୋଟେ ପେଜ
Oh.
ଲେଖିକା ଯା ଏବେ ହେଲା
କଣ ଦବ ଏଟା
ମୁଁ
କଣ
ଦେବି ତୁ ଯା ଧରିକି
So in the code units. Code units means each character has a different
Properties.
code. Okay. So that is what we are going to see.
Properties.
Now apart from that, it
1,
is
10
also
ଖାଲି
immutable here.
10
Okay.
10
ହଁ ଯା
So it is immutable.
ଏତିକି ଲେଖିକା
It does not
କେବଳ
change
1 to
the.
10 ଯାଏଁ ଲେଖିବ ଆଉ କିଛି ଲେଖିବନି
So
1 to ଖାଲି
it is
Yeah.
immutable.
1 to 10 ଯାଏ
ହଁ ବେଗି ବେଗି ବେଗି
Okay, it is immutable.
1 to 10 ଯାଏ
Now let's start with declaring a string variable. Okay. So let me give it as str as the variable name is equal to invocation
ବାଃ
space character
Ah.
here.
ସେ ଝାଡୁ କରନା
Okay. Now
ଏଇଠି ଝାଡୁ
the
କରେ ସେଇ
different
ଝାଡୁ
functions
ଝାଡୁ
you're going
କରେ
to
ଘର ଝାଡୁ କରାଉଛି ନା
different
ଭିତରଟା
methods. Now let's learn about methods.
ସେଇ
Strings.
ଝାଡୁ ସେଇଟା କରନା ଏଇଟା ଯାଏଁ ଏତିକି କର ତାପରେ ସେଇ ଝାଡୁରେ କରେ
The first and foremost,
କଦଳୀ ଝାଡୁ ଏଇଟା ଫୁଲ ଝାଡୁଟା ନା ଘର ଝାଡୁ
before
କରାଉଛି
printing the methods,
ଘର ଭଳା
just
ହଉଛି ନା
do is
ଝାଡୁରେ
print and you're going to give string. So it is going to print that string with all the space characters. Space character के साथ मिला के आपको देगा. The space character here, okay. This side you will not be able to see, but there is. Okay. So next, if you want to trim it, so trim string. To trim the string, use curly brackets. And then go and get an error. Use the trim function. So when you trim it, you will remove the excess outer, both the left side and the right side of the string. Now you can see the difference. Here there is a space character, and here there is no space. So remove the string. So that is your trim concept. Now next, I want to find the length of the string. Length of the string is number of characters in the given string. We use str, we use curly brackets, so str dot length. String variable in with length. We use the length. Say that the string is okay. The total number of characters is 12, including the white space it has taken. Okay. Similarly, print. Next we are going to see whether the string given string is empty or not.
अरे देखिया है पप्पा लेना
For that we use
देखिया
str dot empty. Okay. So it's going to be false because it is already there is a string there. Okay, values you have, characters you have. If it is an empty string, then it will give you. Similarly, you also have str dot is not empty. That is going to give you the there. Okay, with that. Now let's go with the let's declare two more values.
10 যা লিখি হুম কম
हाँ
do the uppercase, lowercase. Okay, this also there. Convert to the all lowercase. So you have first dollar, will back str1, we give str1 dot lowercase.
I thought.
You have to keep it in mind. Here three functions, you are not using three in parentheses. But for trim, lowercase and all, you have to use. For certain functions, you don't need to use. For certain functions, you have to use. Okay. So this is going to change everything into lowercase.
खाली 10 लिख रखा हूँ
10 लखी.
Okay.
10,
Similarly,
10,
you also
10,
have
10, 10.
suffix as well.
Huh? 7.
4 5 6 7 तापर पुणी 1 तापर 2 एंड 10 नहीं लिख गया 10 10 10 लिख रखा हूँ ऐसे 1 2 3 4 6 लिख लो 5 6 डेटा को लगा मुझे जिन लिख गया था
That's your
2 3 4 5 6
for fourth.
8
You
9
can compare
Hola.
or then is
1
case.
2 3
Then also have something called as
9 10
Split.
1
right. Also have
3
split.
4 5
Now it is split.
8.
Okay.
Two,
Now,
two.
let's say
and double 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 2 3 4 5 6
convert
7 8
thing.
9 10
Well,
बस
list.
ये लिख दिया लिख गया जल्दी आ
That's what it is.
जल्दी आ
So let me go and give str dot. So I'm going to answer this particular string dot split method. Now in the split, we need to pass an argument in quotation.
हाँ
Now if I don't give, just give open and close quotation. I'll run this. Now you will see it has split it into each character separately.
जौहरी गाँव की बिकी
Now if I give a space character,
गाँव जौहरी आती नोर
क्या होगा? Wherever the space character is,
कौन है
that's where the
तो पूरा पाठ को
split
दिया
will occur. Since there are space characters here and here and here, we are having this extra row to those spaces, you can go on. Okay? So that's your split function. Now I can also go and give, I want to split wherever there is an R. So if I give R here, you can see it's getting splitted where the R is shown. So here, यहाँ पर एक R है, यहाँ पर एक R है,
ये वाला
Yeah.
एक और जी
right?
ये हमारी
So that's the answer behind it. Right? Now next, what let's do? Can do. Now you've seen trim. Now let's say I want to
पानी उधर है क्या
add some content, add some characters at the prefix and suffix of a particular string. Okay, so I want to add a character at the prefix. Prefix मतलब यहाँ पर for example dot है, dot के बगल है इसमें थोड़ा I want to add not any string, a character, multiple character, same character, multiple times. Alright, so that's called as a pad. Okay, pad left, pad right. This is what we're going to see. Padding. Now you all know what is padding. Okay, so padding means giving space characters. Okay, just by giving any character in pad. Now okay, so let's go here. So let's say I'm going to give a simple curly brackets square dot and left. Now in the pad left, I need to pass two arguments. The first argument specify the number of characters, total number of characters, including the padding. Okay. So let's say I'm going to give 12. 12 हो ज़्यादा है, 10 देते हैं, 10, and within the next will be what is the padding you want to do. Now let's say I want to add a hash. Okay. Well, so let's run this. Go to this camera. Right again. You can see here, I have given double asterisk or dot B. So dot, when I say 10, 10 matlab total number of characters. At the end, it should have total number of characters of 10. So here you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So this 4,
मतलब भाई
you will have 4 characters. Dot has 4 characters. So for dot 4 characters minus the नेगेटिव कितना होगा आपके पास 6. So 6 characters will have asterisks.
और लिखेगा मुझे
So that is the difference. Okay, that is called as. Now similarly, if I want to do it that side, your right side, right side of the string. So let's say str2 on 10. So there's only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, we'll have 7 itself. So we'll write 10 itself and this. The padding will not, sorry, left hand area, right there, whatever. Okay. So this is one type of padding. Now we'll see two more. Okay. And let's start with finding the index occurrence, the first occurrence of a particular character. Now let's say I'm going to give the first occurrence of R. Okay. We'll check for R. So in the string, we'll give $, brackets, str dot index of, and within quotation you will give specify the particular character. Right? Let's run this. So it is going to give you the index, the occurrence of an R in the dot program. This is 4. This is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, which also takes in the space character. That's right. Similarly, the last occurrence also can have. The last occurrence of say G. Do that, write last index G here. Let's run that. We have 70. Okay, to last in this G. So that's how you will do that. Now let's say I want to replace a value. Okay, now let's replace dot to flutter. Okay, now how do you replace that? How do you replace the value? You go and give right str is the variable name. Which variable you want you can use. Okay, str and write replace first. So that means what? The first occurrence of that particular character. What is the character? That is what we are going to specify. We need to specify 2 arguments. We need to specify two arguments here. Alright, the first argument the first argument you have to give here, say I'm going to give the first argument dot. So that means wherever you're going to find a dot in this particular string variable, that will be replaced by whatever the second character. So you can say, so this is 4 characters, but here it is almost about how many? 7 characters, right? 7 characters, 7 or? Yeah, 7 characters. Yes, it will change. Okay, so that's your product. So you can see here, it has drastically changed. Right? That's that. Then you also have a replace all, so you can replace the whole thing itself. So let's say, beginning with the AAT here. Right? Or replace all. Okay. See if it works or not, I don't know. Right? Or wherever you are putting A, that has to be replaced something else. Let's say it works or not. So you will replace all this. I've already taught you 2 things. One is replacing the first element, and you can replace all elements as well. Okay. So that is replace all. Then if you want a particular part of a string, okay. So you want say substring, okay? It's called as a substring of say str category. We'll give it here as strp dot substring. Okay. In the substring, you have to specify 2 things. Numbers only, index value. So the first value is inclusive, and the second value is exclusive. Right? Now let's say 0, 1, 2, 3, 5. So I'm going to give it a 6. It's my 6th index value. So this, or we can take only this range. Okay. So I'll say 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'll write as 9 here. Then I want 9. 10, come on, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So I'll give 15 here. Okay. So that means inclusive of 10th index, so it has to start from 10th index, and exclusive of 15. So till 14. Okay. Okay. either or either. Okay. Okay. So that is your. Okay. Now in this substring also, can give one value. एक value, दो value, एक value दे सकते हो. Now let's say I'm giving this 9. I'm not giving the n value. Put 9 there on. Let's run this. So that means it will start from the start inclusive and it will, since I'm not giving the exclusive value, so second value, it will take the whole rest of the string back. So that is your substring concept. Okay. That is that. Then you also have ends with, you can also check whether it starts with or ends with OB text or OB has been. There are so many things. Okay. So not necessary that you have to keep in mind everything. So just I'm teaching you this. आपको चाहिए तो आप अपना जाके सर्च करके भी देख सकते हैं. Okay. Starts with say I'm using this function, right? So I'll use itself. So this starts with say inch. It starts with P. For that you will start with dollar, then thing is dot starts with the second. Okay. Starts with second information T, and it is starting with T. It will give you true. Okay. होएगा. If I say something h दे दूंगा, false आ जाएगा. Okay. So like that. If you have starts with, you also have ends with. Okay. Then that is also show you as true. Okay, so it is ending with A, or it can also be in as well. It will also work. Now you can also check the string availability. Okay, string availability. We'll write order str big dot H contains base. The contains, I have to specify the string, whichever string you want to check whether it is available or not. Now let's say there is a string called this. Is it available? Yes, it is available. Okay. Right? Yes, it is available, so it is showing true. And I'm going to complete it with another 2-1. We'll complete this. Don't want to prolong this more further. And the UTF-4, UTF-16 board or a string. What's that? That is basically code units. Okay. That means it's going to print. So if I give code units, it's going to take this dot and print each and every character's code. Let me just that which is down. Again. So it will give you all the codes, each and every character's code it will specify. Okay, so that's that. Now you also have a particular code. You want to find a particular character's code in that particular string. For that you will use, they will do the same thing, scale 1 dot code just go. In this function, I have to specify the character. Let's say I'm going to take D. Let's say so the index value you have to specify. Let's learn that. So what is the code? First it. So whatever the character in the given index. Okay. So the Eka give code and 97. Okay, the code. Okay, basically. Okay. I hope everyone has understood till here.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Yeah. So you have most probably completed this string that what other string function. Right? Just then click here. Come back. Now we have minutes. So let's complete that. I will start with collections, right? What is a collection? A collection is basically a sequence of elements, right? It's called a sequence of elements. So what are the different types of sequences? The basic ones you have list. List. Then we have set. Then we have these are the three things. Apart from that, we also have a queue. Okay. So these are the basics: set, list, set, and map. Now you all know list will be given inside square bracket, right? So this is your different types. So in that we are going to see first is a list. A list, it is a sequence of elements which can be duplicated, right? Duplicated, and it is given for mostly like a array, okay, square brackets. Only thing is it is in duplicates. Now in that you have two types of list. Okay, two types. One you have call it as one. Okay, there are two types of list where you specify the number of elements. However, you need to specify the number of elements as the okay. So in that you can say one is static, another one is dynamic like that. You can say like that as well. Yeah. So list start. Yeah, so you have two things which is basically you have a fixed length, that's what I forgot. So fixed length list is there, and you also have a global, means a dynamic global or list. Values give stage. Okay, so this is the two types of list. Okay, so we'll see the first one, fixed list. So we'll go with the fixed list, and the fixed list you will declare. So always I'm going to use var here. So let's say I'm going to declare a variable called ls some variable name. Then you will give new and list bracket open, and you will specify the number of, so for example 4. That means you will be able to give
7.
4.
5, 6, 7.
You can only pass 4 arguments. Okay. Okay.
7.
1.
So if you give more than one, it will throw an
No,
exception.
no,
Let's see all those
4.
things here. So we'll start by giving a value. How do you give a value?
8.
Using index value.
8.4.
So let me go and give 0 as some value. Say, or you can go and give 6.
1 to 10 में बार-बार लिख के आसन बता लास्ट टाइम बोल अला कि दे विन्यास उठा दे
LS here.
लगे
2, 89, LS 8, 8.
9 10
Okay.
बोला
Now bring 8.
पूरा
Come, dia. Come. Então,
Standard.
come.